You're watching News 8.
Eric Johnson is back with us, but we are not talking about rapid theater for once, a frequent guest on that subject. Today we're talking about his brand new book called My Quarter-Life Crisis. Welcome, great to see you.
Thanks, Mark.
This book, obviously a significant undertaking. You've got the copy right here. Tell us what inspired it. What was the idea behind this?
So, you know, for many years, growing up in Pittsburgh, I really thought all of my life I was going to go off to Hollywood. I was going to go off to New York. I was going to go off to one of these big cities where they have so much art and they have so much with movies and with Broadway shows. And I was going to become the next Steven Spielberg. Sure. And throughout all of the role models and teachers that I met along my journey from high school and from college and from everywhere in between, I found out that that might not be the right path for me, and that maybe being right here in Rochester, I could make a difference locally. So that's kind of where the book started and where kind of the idea came from.
Was that the crisis of conscience about what path you were on then?
Yeah, and there's many different crises along the way that are mentioned in the book. However, the main one is now being 25 years old, being midway through my 20s, saying, okay, what could have happened, what might have happened, what should have happened, and what did happen, and saying, is that right? Is that what should have happened?
Might be a few folks watching who can relate. We all ask those questions of ourselves. I'm curious, in posing those questions to yourself, did you perhaps discover something about yourself or learn something new along the journey from page one to the last page, so to speak? I
think it's interesting to reflect. I mean, reflecting at any point in your life is so important, but especially at 25 years old and saying, everything that happened and everybody that you've worked with. I mean, I work with a ton of students every year, from all the schools I'm in, to RAPA, to the other organizations, and saying, you know, maybe something that I'm giving, maybe something that I'm doing in these schools is impacting that next generation. And what would have happened if I didn't have one of those role models in my life? Would I have ended up somewhere else? Would I have not been what I'm doing today? So it's all important. It's all important, and it did mean a lot in the end. At
25, there are more than a few watching, perhaps, who might say, your whole life is in front of you. To that end, what do you hope others will take from a read?
I hope, one, that they realize that it's never too late to change your mind, right? I could change my mind tomorrow and say, I'm going to pack my bag and go to Florida and try something new. But it's never too late to change your mind and say, I've enjoyed doing what I'm doing, but it's time to take that next step. It's time to take that next step forward and do something different and try something while you have the rest of your life in front of you.
Well, congratulations on the book. Good luck with it.
Yes.
And whatever the next project may be.
Yes,
it's always good to see you here in
studio.
studio.
Good to see you, too.
Release party coming up on Wednesday at Writers and Books at 6 o'clock. And you can also get your book, My Quarter-Life Crisis, online as well at Eric's website, ericvaughnjohnson.com. That link and more on our site, as always, at rochesterfirst.com.